In today's video, we are talking to my mom, a 3-time breast cancer survivor. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Marina Blackford. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. You'll just hit the button down below. Welcome back to my subscribers. I post weekly videos about my life, which is that I am a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and she trumped me, and a toddler mom, and I have a passion for sharing positivity and life hacks. So, all right, for those of you that have been here a while, you know some of my story about my mom. So I just thought it was time to bring her on. A lot of you have been asking. But here is my mom. Hi. You can introduce yourself.
I'm Deborah.
It's Deborah. Yes, so some of you have been asking and have seen my mom is just finishing her 3rd breast cancer journey. So it was time to get her on to update you all and to answer some questions some of you guys might have. So, welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Her hair's growing back. So let's just update where you're at with your treatment. You're almost done with radiation.
I have 7 more to go. Lucky 7.
Yes. Obviously did chemo again.
Yes.
When was the
Finished
last chemo?
December 6th.
So it's been like
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
So this is 2 months of hair growth. You're seeing now. So how old were you the first time you had breast cancer?
41.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Early menopause.
okay.
Chemo caused early menopause. Yes.
Chemo caused that.
Yeah.
That's what your oncologist said?
Yeah.
After that? Oh, I didn't know that.
They said
What did they do that first time for your treatment?
They said that I'm taking the same chemo as before.
As before?
Yes. And I had to have radiation the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
surgery?
And surgery, lumpectomy. Yeah.
Did they do surgery first or chemo?
Surgery, chemo, radiation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first time they did lumpectomy. And then how old were you the second time?
55.
Yeah. What was different in 2010?
No radiation.
No radiation.
Yeah, just
because
chemo.
in 2010 is when you found out
well,
you had BRCA.
The BRCA.
Does that sound right?
The BRCA gene, yes.
So in 1997, they did not genetic test.
Well, they didn't do it until later, and the PCP didn't know how to read it.
So she had genetic testing done after the first time. This is a good point. I misunderstood this too. But her results were sent to her primary care physician, not her oncologist, or at least her oncologist didn't go over it with her. So then it was never clearly communicated that she was BRCA1 positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They thought it meant the opposite.
Yeah. It's true. In her report, I remember reading it after the second time you're diagnosed. It said deletions of, right? Isn't that kind of what it said? But the way it was worded in the report at the time, it meant that she didn't have the good gene. It meant that she was positive for BRCA. So if you were a primary care physician, it could have been misunderstood. Okay.
Get second opinions.
Get second opinions and have your oncologist go over your paperwork with you. I think that was a big tip for me from a friend. So the second time they did lumpectomy.
Yeah, and after they did the lumpectomy, I gave them my BRCA1 results, and they realized that I should have had a double mastectomy.
And I still feel like too, when we talked about that time, like it gave you time to process, because accepting that you have to like do a big surgery to remove everything is kind of hard. What do you think?
It's kind of devastating.
Yeah.
Back then, yeah.
It was, I remember. So you had that done and you were probably thinking, like you're done with all of this.
Yeah.
Like done. Like you've done chemo, you've removed everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
2010. And then...
How did you find your cancer each time? The first time, the second time, the third time?
Actually, your father found them.
Every time?
Yeah, he would notice a bump and he would say, have you felt this? Oh. Yeah, that doesn't feel right.
So you guys felt
yeah.
lumps. You didn't, and that is how I found it the second time was a lump near my ribs, and I just noticed it as I was showering, and I just went over something that was like a hard bump, and I knew it was out of place. It wasn't there before.
Doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. Yeah. And not to scare any of you guys, because I think people have like lumpy breasts, but it's not really like lumpy breast tissue. It's it just feels totally kind of new and different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you found it the third time. Were you shocked?
Yes. It was. Yeah. It was 2021, yeah. The summer of 2021.
Yeah, the timeline was, as some of you have been following, I finished my treatment July 2021, end of 2021. And at the same time, you found that lump.
In June. Yeah.
In June, and then had a diagnosis in July. My last month of treatment, she was getting diagnosed. I think we're obviously cut from the same cloth, because for my mom and I think what usually gets us through is just knowing we have like appointments and just getting to the next appointment and just trying to do your best to feel well. Yeah. All right, so you have done chemo 3 times, which is more than probably a lot of people that are watching this have ever done or hope to do. 3 rounds of chemo.
All the same.
Well,
They were all the same. They were always 4 sessions, 3 weeks apart.
Okay.
All the same.
Yeah. She did hers every 3rd week, and I think that worked really well for you, because it's kind of like you have a week of not feeling well.
Couple weeks, yeah. Yeah, and then week 2 gets your strength back, and then boom, it's chemo time.
And then get it done. I opted to do weekly just because my oncologist said I may have a chance of having less risk for neuropathy. And to do it weekly instead of every 3rd week. And so I opted to do that because I am a dental hygienist, and working with my hands is very important. So it was more of an inconvenience to go weekly. But I think since I'm in my 30s, I think long term, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
So I just want to clarify that. So you've lost your hair 3 times.
Yeah.
You never wanted to try and keep it, or did you?
No, well, I never knew
cap?
about that. They've always offered, the wigs and
wigs.
chemo caps.
So do you have any tips for someone that is losing their hair?
Well, I'm always I'm always ahead of the game, so I contact the American Cancer Society, and they send me websites to get the free wigs and the chemo caps.
Yes, if you are good at reaching out to these nonprofit organizations, my mom is very good at it. There are options to get a free wig, or to even use your insurance. I used my insurance to get a wig at one point. Now that's growing back, do you have any tips for when it grows back? Because some people talk about it being itchy or their scalp breaking out. Do you have any tips for that?
Rubbing it and scrubbing it, but I don't use, shampoo. I use just the Neutrogena, just the face wash. I just rub everything, rub the whole hair.
She uses face wash to wash her hair. That might help. Some people have asked about like breaking out and itchiness, and I didn't do that. I used a little bit of a scalp scrub, a gentle one, but that could be a really good tip. Just use your face wash.
Yeah, it just works for me.
Okay. And it looks good.
I
don't see a lot of red bumps.
I sweat a lot, so
yeah,
I wake up sweaty.
Well, you have hot flashes. You're menopausal. Wigs. Do you have any wig tips? Did you wash your wigs yourself? Did you have somebody else wash them? Do you wash wigs? I don't have a lot of experience with wigs. So
no, I do not do wigs. There was some salons that do it for free for cancer patients.
Yeah, or the beauty school.
Right, it's the beauty school. And
that was it. Yes.
There was one in Mesa, was Broadway and Stapley, and I don't know if it's still there, but they used to wash my wig for free.
Yes, I do remember that. So look for those resources too, either the wig store or a beauty school.
I think the beauty school would be
less
pricey.
Cosmetology. Yeah. Cosmetology, they might be able to help you. What about any tips for somebody having surgery? You've had a lot of surgery like me. Is there something you like to do, like dress warm for the hospital, or something you do to help yourself heal?
I always, bring whatever I think I'm going to need after surgery. So you want to be comfortable. So I wear leggings, and then I wear a button up, something that buttons up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's so much easier.
My dog, my kiddo. You're going to hear all the sounds.
Yeah.
So yes, I think a button up after breast surgery is always helpful, because then you're not having to put your arms up and over your head. And do you want to speak towards the emotion of having cancer? Like, is there anything that helps you emotionally?
Well, I pray a lot.
Yeah.
I have a lot of faith.
Yeah.
And it's okay to cry, because sometimes you have to have, one evening just to yourself, and just, just let it out, because it helps to get it out, to get the tears out, and say, well, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do, and it's like, it's always, one day at a time. You just keep going. Find somebody that listens, that you can talk to. It's
A
always,
friend, a spouse,
yeah.
a mom,
Usually
a daughter.
Usually, like Galentine, like a good friend,
It's Valentine's
hubby's
today.
finding somebody to talk to really helps.
And that's fair, because somebody's going to be doing this journey with you. Again, whether it's your spouse or your mom or something, a daughter, and it's a lot for one person to be your only person you're venting to. So that's great advice. I would find another friend that you could just vent. And I read something somewhere that helps me sometimes. If you're feeling down, message 3 people in your life and just say, I'm thinking of you. I hope you're well. And like, something about just like reaching out to 3 people and telling them, like, loving on them, it like pulls you out of a funk.
Just saying, blessings to each other helps.
Yes, that cycle of positivity. I believe in it strongly. I think that's why a lot of you are here. Many of you have thanked me for finding my channel, because maybe you were searching for some help and tips for cancer and chemo, and a lot of it out there is kind of doom and gloom, as somebody put it. And I can kind of agree. I feel like I was looking for a channel like this, just helping me with just tips and having hope. And so I'm so happy you're here. So thank you for being here and watching this video and talking to my mom. I think she looks amazing. I'm so happy. She's almost done. Yeah. We're just happy to give you guys an update that it's going really good. What's next? What's after radiation?
Well, it's up to my oncologist of when I can get my last surgery.
Okay, and then what's the last surgery? 'Cause she had everything removed, had reconstruction, so where are you at now?
Oh, well, everything, wears out, so these implants wore out on me, and I had my right one ruptured, so they
Which you didn't find till now, till the 3rd time, okay.
So they replaced the left one, but the right side has an expander because of radiation, so I get to get the new replacement.
Yes.
Hopefully for my birthday.
And a new implant soon in a couple months. That'd be ideal. So she has an expander on the side that had the tumor.
Yeah.
And lumpectomy. So they removed the tumor, lumpectomy, and also removed the implant at the same time and placed an expander. So she's had that filled. Yeah.
A couple of times.
And then a couple times it gets to a point of where you're happy it'll be. And then now they've done radiation. That is ideal. I think that is ideal, is what I've heard, to have an expander instead of the implant when they're radiating that side. Because I did have radiation with just an implant, no expander. The lumpectomy was here, and they left the implant because mine is fine. Mine are fine. They're not that old yet, because I had cancer so recently. But they left mine and did explain that I have a risk of the implant hardening due to radiation, and it might not happen for months, even years, they said. So far it's okay. But my mom's situation is a little bit more ideal, that it was just time to put new ones. So if you can have an expander or nothing while you do radiation, and then come back and do the implant.
Yes.
It could be better. And the implant will be better. Not the skin, because the skin will have been radiated.
Yeah, it's getting all sunburned now.
Well, you had that happen the second time you had cancer. The side that was radiated the first time,
the left side,
wouldn't heal very well.
So it messed up the implants, so that's why I had to have the flap surgery.
Yes, I want to bring this up while I have her here. Yes, since she had radiation already and they wanted to remove all the breast tissue the second time, and the skin wouldn't heal. It just wouldn't come together, right? The sutures would not heal. That's what radiation does. And so they had to do what they call like the trans flap kind of.
Yeah.
And bring tissue from the back forward.
Yeah.
To help it heal.
Only place I had enough meat for them to get.
Still an implant though there. But that's what they needed to help it heal.
Yeah. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did it look okay? Did it look very different than the other side or?
Well, it looks patched up. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of patched together.
And a lot of you have asked surgery questions, so this is going to be my next video, so stay tuned for that as I want to talk about breast surgery options, what I have done, the options that are out there, the pros and cons. I'm going to try and get it all together in a video. Yeah, and I'm going to try and go over a lot more of that in our upcoming video. So thank you for sitting with me and updating everybody because I've had a lot of people ask, so I really appreciate that. We appreciate the prayers. We appreciate the support for me and my mom. If you're okay with it, I can share. My mom has a GoFundMe that helps her. She is on a retirement budget and cancer is very expensive, not only once, twice, but 3 times. So if you feel so inclined to look, I will include the GoFundMe link in my description box down below. And thank you all for being here, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.